All your friends' marriages look so fabulous on Facebook and Instagram. And so you're not feeling all that. And you want to know, what are the signs that we're on the way to divorce? Like we're on that road. And so I just want to point out that Doctors John and Julie Gottman of the Gottman Institute have done the most thorough research that a very long time ago, and it has held up over and over and over on what are the predictors of divorce. The reason they studied this was not only so that you could look at, well, who's going to get a divorce, but like, how do you avoid this so that you can stay married? So I'm hoping that you're going to look at this from that perspective. So the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse of divorce, according to the Gottmans, are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. So let's talk about them just one by one. Criticism is what it says it is. It's when the first thing out of your mouth is to suggest that your spouse do something differently. I don't like that dress. Go put on another one. You've gained weight, etc. According to the Gottmans, the next horseman of the apocalypse of divorce is contempt. Contempt looks like this. It doesn't look like what I just did. It looks like this. I can't even do contempt right now, but it looks like rolling your eyes. It looks like expressing disdain for the other person, being disgusted at them at all, like not liking the way they chew and making sure your face shows it, even if your voice doesn't. Those things that express, I don't like you any longer, are the things that mean contempt, okay? Disregard. So think of it like this. If you're in a court of law, if you disregard the court's orders, you are in contempt of court, meaning you are flouting and not caring about that relationship, the authority of the court and you. Same thing holds true for contempt in a marriage. When we are contemptuous to one another, we are not having regard or respect for the other person, and we are completely ignoring the other person's wants and needs. The third horseman of the apocalypse of divorce, according to the Gottmans, is defensiveness. So this looks like when someone comes to you, your spouse comes to you, and you've had an altercation of some kind, you've had a little spat, and your spouse comes to you and says, "Hey, honey, I'm really sorry that I snapped at you. I didn't mean to. I'm just really on edge. I just want you to know I'm sorry." And instead of saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry too," defensiveness looks like there was a little defensiveness in what I just said, but then real defensiveness looks like this. It says, "Yeah, I hate it when you snap at me like that. I'm so sick of it. Like, you're constantly snapping at me. And I didn't do anything. I didn't deserve that." And you go on a tear defending why you did what you did to cause your spouse to snap. You're in a spiral of defensiveness that just feeds more defensiveness, and there's no connection. Sometimes the "I'm sorry" is just an offer of connection. So connect. When the offer of connection is extended, take it and offer one in return. That's the opposite of defensiveness. The 4th horseman of the apocalypse of divorce, and this is the one that typically occurs when you're pretty much there, you're about there, is stonewalling. This means your spouse makes offers and you ignore them. So in other words, your spouse touches you on the shoulder when you come home and you just walk away and act like it never happened. You ignore bids for connection. You ignore conversations. You ignore statements that they make. You ignore the fact that that your spouse asked you to pick up their favorite kind of cottage cheese at the grocery store that day, and you intentionally or unintentionally just don't do it. Just ignoring someone, refusing to speak, refusing to talk through issues, refusing to say positive things. All stonewalling. And that's when you know it's probably close to done. If you are seeing some signs that your marriage might be in trouble and on its way to divorce, please feel free to reach out to me at Brava Law and set up a consultation. We'll walk through it together.